Hi. So we've been working with open chords A, D, and E. And we've gone through a couple of 12-bar blues pattern variations using those three chords. I'm going to introduce now a variation on those chords. I'm going to introduce the 7th chord. So an A major sounds like that. And a 7th A7 chord sounds like... So you can hear the difference between those two. Basically, we've taken the second finger, which is playing the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, the G string, and we're now playing the G open. So as well as the 3 notes in the A major chord, A, C sharp and E, the 1st, 3rd and the 5th, we're also now adding a G note into that chord. Okay? The purpose of a 7th chord is to create tension. This sort of a suspended sound, which is then resolved by moving to the next chord. And in the case of an A7, it resolves best to a D major. Okay, so you've got that shape for the A7. So you're playing the 2nd fret on the 4th string with your 1st finger, and you're playing the 2nd fret on the 2nd string with your 3rd finger, and the 3rd string is open. Okay, to play a D7 chord, we're going to change one of the notes as well. So we're going to continue playing these 2 notes, 2nd fret, 3rd string, 2nd fret, 1st string, but we're going to change to playing them with the 2nd and 3rd fingers. Okay, so your 2nd finger is now on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the 2nd fret, 1st string, and your 1st finger plays the 2nd string on the 1st fret. Okay, so you've moved. Okay, that's a D7 chord. And again, its purpose is to set up tension, which is resolved by moving to another chord. The E7 chord, play an E major, and then lift again your 3rd finger. So you're playing 3rd string on the 1st fret with your index finger, and you're playing the 5th string on the 2nd fret with your 2nd finger, and the 4th string, the D string, is open in between the 2. So you should be able to fret those 2 strings with your 1st and 3rd finger so that they're not interfering with the strings around them. So you should be able to hear. Okay, so an E major, E7, and the purpose of the E7 chord is to set up tension, which is resolved by moving to an A major chord. You can hear that. Okay, so those are the 3 A7, D7 and E7 chords. Let's look at a couple of 12-bar patterns where we might use them. Let's take the simplest of the 12-bar patterns, where we had 4 bars of A on the first line, 2 bars of D, 2 bars of A, and then an E, 2 bars of E and 2 bars of A. So in the 4th bar, we're going to change the A to an A7 chord using a standard 4/4 strumming, a straight 4/4 strumming pattern. It sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. E7, A, okay, that's the first of the patterns that I gave you. The second one, we're going to introduce an A7 at the end of the first line, and we're going to put in we're going to use the variation that I've given you, and we're going to put an E7 in the 12th bar. Okay, so again, only 2 changes: the 4th bar and the 12th bar. Okay, so, and I'll write out the chords that you should be playing at the bottom of the video, at the bottom of the screen here, so that you can follow me along. 2, 3, 4. So you heard in the 12th bar, I just put down that E7th chord and left my third finger up in the air. So that E7 chord sounds on its own. The other interesting thing that you could do with the 7th chord is to play the entire 12 bar pattern using 7th chords. So what we've got in every bar is a tension, which is, if you like, almost never released, because we're going straight to another 7th chord. So we're going from one tension device to another tension device. And it's just a way of keeping the pattern sounding almost a little bit more jazzy, if you like, and just keeping the whole thing moving. And it sounds like this. So I'm playing the variation that I've given you, so A, D, A, but I'm using 7th chords the whole way through. And it sounds like this. 2, 3, 4. And if you notice the whole way through that, I'm using that device that practice device, if you like, that I've given you, of leaving each chord early after the third beat downstroke, so that you can arrive at the next chord on time on the one beat. So we're getting 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and we're using the 7th chords. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 2. Okay, so the idea is whatever speed you're playing at, whatever rhythm you're using, that you would leave each chord on time, arrive on the one beat, so that the chord, whether it be a D major, a D7, an E major, an E7, whatever the chord is, you arrive on the one beat of the next bar fully formed. Okay, so that's just a way of using the 7th chords. There's lots of different ways to do it, experiment, but the key thing is to map into your ear the difference between a major chord and its 7th chord. There's only one note added to that chord, and you have to be able to pick it out in the soundscape that you create. So if you're fretting the other notes properly, you should be able to hear that note coming in and out. And similarly with the E to the E7. You should be able to hear that note coming in and coming out. If you're not fretting the other notes properly, it'll probably block that note. So it is a way of understanding that you're getting in the way of the note that you're trying to free up. So map that sound into your ear, have fun with it in various different places in the 12 bar, so that when you hear it in another record, when you're trying to figure out what the chords are, you'll know what a 7th chord sounds like. Okay, have fun.